Lots of people have been commenting on Hillary Clinton's recent book, What Happened, and the bizarre book tour that she's doing in support of this book. Now, she's been doing this over the summer. A few things that people have pointed out from the book, and this is actually a lead up before the release of the book. She was already claiming herself as a victim. Back in June or late May, I think she first made statements blaming the DNC, the New York Times, Russia, which she had steadily been blaming since the election, as well as James Comey and WikiLeaks, many of these different outlets, for her to be blaming them as if they were against Hillary Clinton, when the mainstream media, the New York Times particularly, was very much in support of Hillary Clinton. The DNC, of course, they practically rigged the primaries for Clinton. James Comey, Hillary Clinton should probably be thanking James Comey for the fact that she's not in prison. Here she is blaming all of these people that were in support of her, fully supported her throughout the election for her loss. So this was rather this was a bizarre angle for Hillary Clinton to take. People have already commented on this, and it's been notable that she's received an unusual amount, it seems, of negative criticism in the mainstream media. Again, the mainstream media, of course, was largely supportive of Hillary Clinton through the election, even after the election. More recently, since this book tour, she has received a lot of criticism from outlets that never really criticized her in the past. Even the Young Turks channel, which was basically in the bag for Clinton and most of her globalist policies, are criticizing her. Even a channel like that, since the book tour. Now, this has led me to believe that this book tour is something of a psyop, like an intentional operation by Hillary to make herself look bad, that Hillary's basically on purpose making herself look kind of crazy in her coverage and her victimization of herself in order to make the party look good by comparison. She's kind of, at least on the surface to the public, it looks like she's taking on the DNC, or she's blaming them for her loss, and she's at odds with other Democrats. I don't think that she's really at odds with these other Democrats. I think that she's been pushed out by these people, and she probably didn't even want to do this book, is my theory. She was basically forced to do the book, again, to be a scapegoat, to look bad. Obviously, Hillary Clinton is not winning a future election. The most useful thing I think that the powers that be have for Hillary Clinton to make use of her is to use her unpopularity to make other candidates look good by comparison. There was a recent report from the Daily Mail. I think it further supports this. Now, this report, or these claims, they read, Bill Clinton told Hillary that her book made her look bewildered, angry, and confused, and demanded she rewrite it, according to a family friend. When she refused to read his notes, he threw the book in the trash, it's claimed. The pair are said to be speaking only through friends and lawyers after the argument. They have not been seen together since August, when they visited the Hamptons. This is the report that we're getting from the mainstream media on their relationship. They're saying that they have had an argument over this book, that Bill Clinton didn't want her to publish it, that he suggested edits, and that he said that it made Hillary look bewildered, angry, and confused. She refused to read his notes. He threw it in the trash. I'm not sure that I buy this story. This seems like it could be something that was this is part of this campaign by the media. Bill Clinton, I'm sure many of my viewers are not fans of Bill Clinton, and for good reason, but his popularity is much higher than Hillary Clinton's. Just as far as his national popularity, the average American citizen, I imagine, would be reading this article and taking Bill Clinton's side, I guess, or as it's reported, these two sides, they would be siding with Bill Clinton over Hillary. So again, it just seems like this is part of this attempt to sort of scapegoat Hillary Clinton, as if this was just all her idea, all these different failures of the campaign. It was all on Hillary Clinton and not the wider corrupt system that she was part of. me read a little bit more from the actual report. So they're saying that Bill and Hillary Clinton are not speaking to each other after a blazing argument, they're describing it, over her election book, it has been claimed. Bill had red-penned the book in an attempt to improve it, a friend allegedly told Klein, but flew into a rage when Hillary refused to read any of his notes, they say. It's being reported that he hated the title because calling it What Happened would only make people say you lost. That was an ongoing joke when the book was released. It seemed like a poor title. Again, everything from the title to the content of the book to the bizarre book tour, some of the speaking engagements, that there have been some quotes that she's been criticized for, even in the mainstream media, where she was largely she avoided criticism up until now. It seems like everybody's been given a green light to sort of start bashing Hillary Clinton when they had been told to protect her for months prior. It's also being said by this report that Bill urged her to postpone the publication date and rewrite the book, but she yelled at him and said, "The book is finished, and that's how it's going to be published." Since then, the pair have been speaking through friends and lawyers, the source said. So they haven't spoken directly since the argument, according to the report. Now, this is leading to a book by Ed Klein, so it could be publicity for this book. Again, I think it's possible that this is part of a coordinated narrative now that the public is being prompted to now blame Hillary Clinton. It's okay not to like Hillary Clinton, according to the mainstream media now. And what I imagine will happen leading to the next election is we will see other Democrats start to speak out about Hillary Clinton. Then in about 2 years, when the next election really starts ramping up, they'll all be able to say, oh, thank gosh, the terrible, corrupt Hillary Clinton era is over. We've all disassociated ourselves with Hillary, and some of these other unpopular people in the party right now, Debbie Wasserman Schultz, I imagine, will either be largely taken away from the spotlight. I think that she could even face some sort of punishment, but basically just as a veneer of change for the party. They swap one or two faces around Hillary, possibly a Debbie Wasserman Schultz, someone like that. Under the surface, there won't be that much change, but they'll be able to run a Mark Zuckerberg or Kamala Harris or whoever they plan to run in 2020. They'll have the same backers. They'll basically be doing much the same things that Hillary Clinton would have been doing, but on the surface, they'll have this surface level change. They'll swap some of these faces. Hillary Clinton, I think, is going to be a scapegoat over the next couple of years as the party reforms itself again on the surface to the public, at least. Let me know what you think about this. It could be interpreted in a few different ways, obviously. I have the link to both the reports in the description of this video. Finally, I just point people over to my Patreon account. I'm over at patreon.com/realityreader. Thank you, everybody that has donated. It makes a huge difference, even a dollar or two. It just gives me some extra time and resources to put back into the channel. Keep reporting on these issues. Patreon.com/realityreader. You can also follow my updates at realityreader.com. I'm over there, and I'm on Twitter at realityreader. You can follow me there as well. Thanks, everyone. Leave a comment, leave a like. If you could subscribe to the channel, it's greatly appreciated. I will follow up shortly. Thanks.